A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Saint Mark. Jesus and his disciples set out for the villages of Caesarea Philippi. Along the way, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that I am?" They said in reply, "John the Baptist, others Elijah, still others one of the prophets." And he asked them, "But who do you say that I am?" Peter said to him in reply, "You are the Christ." Then he warned them not to tell anyone about him. He began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer greatly and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed and rise after 3 days. He spoke this openly. Then Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. At this he turned around and, looking at his disciples, rebuked Peter and said, "Get behind me, Satan. You are thinking not as God does, but as human beings do." The Gospel of the Lord. You are the Christ. The confession of Peter, who speaks for the disciples, is the turning point in the public ministry of Jesus. Mark situates it at Philip's territory of Caesarea Philippi. Mark's the Christ, Messiah, is qualified by Matthew with the Son of the living God and by Luke with of God. Peter and the disciples are aware that the Jewish people are expecting a descendant of King David who will restore Israel to its political glory. He is the Messiah or the anointed agent of God. Peter is correct in pointing Jesus as the Messiah, but is quite mistaken as to what his role will be. Jesus rejects the picture of a glorious political Messiah. Instead, he sees suffering, pain, and even death as part and parcel of his calling. Given who he is and what he stands for, the suffering Jesus faces the inevitable. It is a natural consequence of preaching the gospel in the midst of worldly unbelief and abuse of power. Jesus does not deny that he is the Messiah of God, but he forbids his disciples to use the term because of its political and worldly connotations. For him, the path to salvation is the path of suffering.